If your spa is getting power to the unit, so in this case 230 volts, so you check your wires, you're getting 230 volts to the spa, but nothing works. Control panel doesn't light up, your circ pump doesn't kick on, absolutely nothing works. Most likely it is related to your transformer. So your transformer is basically what allows all of these relays to open and close to power up certain components in your spa. The first thing you want to do is check the transformer fuse. So it's this tiny little guy right here. If your PC board looks different than this, then it's going to be in a different spot. If you flip the metal door over, there's a schematic on the back, and you can find whichever spot has a fuse picture and it says XFO. That stands for transformer. On my meter, I have a continuity checker. Basically, it looks like a little speaker, and when you put the two probes together, it beeps. So that's what I use, but some meters don't have this. So in order to check that fuse, you have to check voltage to it. But I'm going to do it with this first. So you just touch the top and the bottom. That means my fuse is good. If you don't have the continuity, you have to set it to VAC, or a V with a squiggly line over it. And the power is going to be on, so you have to be careful. So you're literally going to touch the top and bottom. And if it reads 0 volts, then the fuse is good. If you get a 120 volt reading from it, the fuse is bad. If your fuse is good, but obviously still nothing is working, now you're going to test your transformer connectors. This is the incoming power. It should be 120 volts between the black and the white. So if you look at the back of the connector, you can see the metal where the wire pushes into it, and it basically cuts through the wire and touches the metal. This you're going to check with volts. And when doing this, these are so close to each other, so you have to be very careful. If you are checking these two and your two prongs touch each other, it's going to spark or get you or trip the breaker. So you do not want these two to touch each other when you're doing this. So if you don't feel comfortable doing this, don't do it. Get someone to help you. With the black and white, you are supposed to get 120 volts. That means that your PC board is doing its job and feeding the correct power to the transformer. Then you're going to come over here and you're going to check these wires. Now there are 3 wires in there, and there are 2 different voltages that the transformer is supposed to be supplying. So first we're going to check and this is where you got to be careful because they're right next to each other. So the yellow and the green, you're going to check voltage there, and you should be getting around 12 volts. Then you're going to leave the one on the yellow and you're going to check the red, and you should be getting around 24 volts. If you don't get anything there, it's a bad transformer. If your fuse is blown, it's a bad fuse, and there may be something else causing that, but you'll want to try a new fuse first because sometimes it blows for no reason. So that and these, if you get input and output correctly, like your transformer is working, but still nothing works, it's a bad PC board. I've only seen this happen once in my career doing this, and I've worked on a lot of different spas. So it's very rare for the PC board to be the problem. Most likely it's your transformer or your fuse.